Field Journal number 3. This is going to be, can Christian men, be MGTOW, which I will now refer to as MIGs, or red-pilled, which I'll now refer to as RP, because YouTube's algorithm is kind of nuts with this kind of stuff. Short answer, yeah, they can. As a matter of fact, by and large, most of the guys that fall into those categories usually lean a little bit more conservative, shall we say. I've found that most of them either are nominally Christian, they say they are, they at least maybe follow the tenets, and then there are those of us who are actually practicing Christians, which there are a few. Raul from Please Act Right would be a prime example of one. He's very open about the fact that he's Christian, as am I. It's almost impossible these days to not be, when you learn about this stuff, to not see it in the church. I gave my own prime example already. That's where I kind of became RP'd before that. I said probably about 13 to 15 years ago, but didn't really know what it was. Didn't really understand what was going on. And then with what happened to me, these channels, they helped out a lot. I began to put a name to what a lot of this stuff was, to be able to understand more fully, well, what are you supposed to do? So yeah, they can. Absolutely. And before anybody lights me up in the comments and says, isn't that the same shirt you were wearing yesterday? The answer is no. I filmed 2 episodes in one day. I went to 2 different locations. So, kind of got to maximize what I can be able to do. Give a short answer. Since kind of rededicating my life to Christ, I dated, up till the major event, I dated 5 women. 4 of them were from my church. 1 of them was from another church. The girl who was from the other church, she only got 1 date. Only 1. Reason being is, she was 32, I think, at the time. Now, I was only 44. So it was about 10, 12 years age gap. You know, good Christian girl, you know, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. We go out on a date. It was kind of a nice night. You know. I find out 2 days later, she actually has 2 children. One of them age 10 and the other one 12. To a man that she never married. And I'm like, why would she not tell me? You know, so red flag, done. I was done immediately. Out of the 4 women that I dated from my church, one of them obviously is the ex-fiance, as it were. And, you know, so I'm not going to count that one. We'll get to that later. Another one, she actually was a good girl. I wouldn't say, or good woman. She was about a year or two, I think she's a year or 2 my senior. Good woman, really. Attractive, pleasant to be around. We had a couple of dates, and she kind of, I think she at least gave me the impression she was getting attached to me too quickly. I got scared and I pulled back. Because, you know, I was straight up with her. I said, look, I don't want to be the guy that breaks your heart. You know, what if this doesn't work? You know, I don't want to hurt you. So I backed away from her. Another girl I dated for a short amount of time. Kind of flake. Turns out, gold digger. Turns out she's a gold digger. You know, I mean, a big one. Her hypergamy was way out of control. And the other one that kind of stuck me pretty good, she was also from the church. I don't think she goes to that church anymore. I don't go to that church anymore either. But she was the last girl, other than, obviously, my fiance and a couple of other people. She was one of the last girls that I picked up on a first date that I didn't know that well. She was about, I think she was either 30 or 31. So again, younger than me. And pretty face, you know, good Christian girl, whole 9 yards. We had a really nice night. I take her back to her place. She leans in for a kiss. So I kissed her, and it was a kiss we held for a little bit. And the next thing I know, her hands are roaming down south. And I pulled back, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, so that pretty much ended it right then and there. Because, I mean, she propped herself up to be one type of person in the church and one person, a different person outside of it. And that's a deal killer for me. I'm like, you need to be the same person. No, I get it. You know, you have to put on at least a little bit better of a face. But to be a complete fake is something else. You know, you don't want to do that. She turned out to be pretty much a fake. Sad to say. So that's when I kind of pulled back. That's when I did the whole, it's like, okay, I'm one of the MIGs. Even though I don't really call myself that, I kind of fall in that category. I'm not going to, I'll date. I enjoy a woman's company, don't get me wrong. But I don't, long-term relationship, I don't see them anymore. I don't really see how that's possible anymore. Or marriage, at least here in the United States. The laws would seriously have to change. And it's not us as men that's going to change them. It has to be women putting pressure on the government to say, look, this needs to stop. You know, men and women pretty much, they have the equal opportunity to go out and get a job. They have the equal opportunity and the money. And if they're both working and they get divorced, why is the guy always getting dragged across the coals? The law doesn't care whether you're inside the church or outside the church. So, again, I'm going to say, yeah, MIGs and RPs exist in the church. And I know a couple of other younger fellas that's pretty much the path they're on. So if I ever get involved in a long-term, meaningful relationship or get involved, you know, where somebody I might want to marry, it's not going to be in this country. But I'm not going to go to another country for that reason. Because that's also foolishness, because you can really get fooled that way. Anyway, short one, but hopefully it helps. I was asked also, you know, well, you know, you need to get a good one. This is a friend of mine. I'm not trying to call him out. I'm not going to say his name. He's somebody I love. I respect the guy. He's like, you know, you need to get a good woman and blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I've had enough of romantic BS. I said, I've got, you know, you need love in you. I said, I got plenty of love to give. I got plenty of love. I got friends. I got family. And there's girls that I'm not in a relationship with that I love. I love them as people. I love them as friends. I want them to be happy. Heck, even my last girlfriend that I dated with any kind of intent, there's still a little bit of love there that says, hey, I want to see her happy. She deserves it. She's a good woman. You know? So I got love. It's just, I'm not into this romantic BS anymore. I'm not into this where men, rightfully so, if they're the bad faith actor in the marriage, they get dragged across the coals. Okay? You deserve it. You cheated on her. You abused her. You deserve it. You deserve to get dragged across the coals for it. But more often than not, the woman can also be the bad faith actor. She can be, you know, just a nasty person, using the abusive word again. She can cheat, be promiscuous, whatever, and still drag the guy across the coals. That makes no sense to me. That is not justice. That is not fairness. So, I don't know what else to say about it, guys. Except for something I said in the previous field journal. Work on yourselves. I'm not against marriage. I'm against what it's become. I'm against the garbage. As the Bible says, I'd rather live alone in the wilderness or in the desert than to spend my life with an angry and combative woman. Like the video, subscribe, put your claws on that notification bell so we know when the next one comes. Live in love, God bless.